Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Paulo, and today I want to share with you a very quick tip on how you can develop your three-statement model. So that is the balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement. Oftentimes, this is used, or pretty much always, it's used to help you make your projections about your business, whether you are a new startup or an existing business and want to see where the business is going. A lot of people at the end of the year want to sit down and project for the next calendar year for their business or even several years ahead of time. Okay, so that's the reason or part of the reason this is used. Another reason this three model statement is used is when someone wants to buy a business. They will create a three model pro forma statement that they will use to build their valuation of a given business. So here, I am going to show you what I actually do on my own side, okay? So this is just a simple P&L, profit and loss statement that basically have the key components. We have the revenue, the cost of goods sold, profit, operating expense, net operating income or loss, interest expense, taxes, assuming it's a corporation, 21%, and then net income. Okay, where's the data? So I have attached different support for each one of these areas. Let's start with the revenue. Okay, so in our revenue, I'm building this model based on the forecast that I am going to be running a toy manufacturing, a toy retailing business, okay? And I am making several assumptions that goes into this P&L. My first assumption, of course, in real life, it's a lot more systematic and pragmatic. You actually go do research to find a lot of the data that I'm making assumption to enter here for the sake of time and communicating the most important information, okay? So I'm assuming that the city of Chicago has 3 million people. That's 300, I'm missing one zero. And I am also assuming that the only 25% of families in the city of Chicago have more than two children. Okay, so and then I am assuming that let me actually step back. Why are we making these assumptions, right? For me to derive the annual revenue that I'm expecting to make for 2022 as a toy retailer business, I have to understand what is the overall market that I'm potentially going to be looking into. What is the total revenue in that market? And what is the potential market share that I can capture reasonably, right? So in this case, I put about 2% that I expect to capture. And then I'm working from the end to the beginning to see, okay, what is that actually look like, okay? So, and then I'm saying that from these 25% of the 3 million people, I'm really only expecting that 10% of these people will be able to make 50,000 or more per year. And that is the range of the income that I'm comfortable with and confident that they will be more likely to buy my product. So and I'm expecting to have a monthly demand of 45%. Okay, so again, I've backed out from my total city population, and then I'm looking into the number of families who have more than two children, because the research that I did says families with more than two children making more than 50K a year are more likely to buy toys for their kids. Okay, good. So again, those are assumptions. I'm not saying that those are the facts. Just the assumptions that I'm making based on the predetermined research that I conducted for the sake of this example. So, and when I make this assumption, I'm saying, okay, I have 12 months, and each month there will be in the overall market about 135,000 demand of toys, right? So I'm saying 45% of that is gonna be the demand. So the annual demand that I'm seeing is about 1.6 million toys a year in the entire city that I am projecting. Toys break, people replace, buy new toys, and so forth. And I'm projecting that across the industry, the average price of the product is going to be $10, and each product may receive a discount of 5%. So that's why we have about 9.5% here. So I came down, I break down my revenue, reaching out to my monthly revenue and then my annual revenue that I'm expecting. And from there, as a small business, I'm saying, hey, based on my marketing effort, my ability to reach out to the community, I'm only really realistically able to get 2% of this entire market revenue. So that is my 304,000. So when I go to my balance sheet, I am going to be seeing my 307,000. Okay, nailed it. So the next point is my cost of goods sold. My cost of goods sold is basically I'm trying to figure out, okay, how much it's gonna cost me to buy, what is the cost of the goods that I'm projecting to sell. All right, so let's say I started the year with zero inventory, and then I purchased, right? I made my purchase. This actually should be in function of my revenue model that I'm hoping to capture. Let me go back there. Times the 2% market share that I'm hoping to capture. So I'm expecting that my firm, my retail business, is going to sell 35,640 toys a year. And it's gonna cost me about $3 per toy per year, right? Those are the assumptions. And I'm saying that I'm gonna be able to sell 80% of these toys, leaving me with 20% in stock. So my cost of goods sold is really 85,000. So going back to my P&L, I'm seeing my cost of goods sold as 85,000. So my gross profit looks pretty good, pretty exciting, but it's not the end. So the next step is my operating expense. You need, expense to run the business. Other than if you're selling through eBay or Amazon, your cost of goods sold are probably gonna be lower. But if you have office, you have employees and so forth, these are gonna be much higher. So for the sake of this pro forma, I made an assumption that my cost of goods sold is going to be my cost of goods sold is get my my operating expenses are going to be as a percentage of revenue. Okay, so let's just enter this here for the sake of this example. Okay, and we're gonna make some very quick assumptions here, and this is gonna help us get somewhere. So we're saying, hey, I'm going to spend these percentages of money for my business expenses. So I'll put here 0 advertising. I'm gonna spend 10% of the revenue into advertising, 0.5% of my revenue into bank fees. I have no professional education, zero that I want to contribute to subscription. I'm gonna pay 5% to subscription, 5% to insurance, and interest expense we're not gonna include here because we're calculating it in a different schedule. About 0.1% into your licenses and fees and so forth. So let's just keep it simple like this, okay? And let's include maybe 2% for utilities and about 5% for supplies. So my operating expense, I'm projecting it to be 94,000 with some change. When we go back to our operating expense, this is what we are going to be able to see. So this is how you build your P&L model. But there is a last piece. If you borrow money to finance your business, right, you will probably have some interest expense there. So let's assume you borrowed about 120K, okay, at 5% interest rate payable for 10 years. So our interest is 5,700 for this year, and everything should flow straight to my P&L statement. So at the end of the year, right after paying the taxes, I'm gonna be seeing about 96,000 in net income. So this is how you build your P&L model. And let me know in the comments if you enjoy this, if you learn anything, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to help you get your projections in good shape. So I'll see you in the next video where we're gonna look into the balance sheet. So it's still in the building process as well, but we're not gonna jump into this. I don't wanna make this video unnecessarily long, but hit me up and we'll be in touch. Bye now.